beginning the captive. The chamber was designed to inspire fear. Smooth obsidian walls curved inward, etched with faintly glowing alien runes that pulsed in time with the station's artificial heartbeat. Gravity was slightly heavier than standard, just enough to remind prisoners they were not in control. The air carried a sterile metallic scent, sharp and unforgiving. Commander Valeth Tar, High Interrogator of the Karuan Dominion, stood at the center of the room with her hands clasped behind her back. Her tall, silver-blue form was wrapped in ceremonial armor, part symbol of authority, part warning. Two elongated eyes glowed faint amber as she observed the lone figure restrained before her. The human. He was smaller than she expected. Fragile-looking, even. No exoskeleton, no natural armor, no claws or fangs. Just flesh wrapped in a torn exploration uniform, dark hair matted with dried blood, one eye swollen shut. Energy restraints bound his wrists and ankles to the gravity chair. Valeth felt a flicker of disappointment. This was the species that had resisted 3 Karuan assault fleets? She circled him slowly, her taloned boots clicking softly against the floor. "Human," she said at last, her voice smooth and resonant, translated instantly by the chamber's linguistics field. "You have been identified as Lieutenant Aaron Hale, Terran Expeditionary Corps." The human lifted his head with visible effort. His remaining eye focused on her, sharp despite exhaustion. "Guess introductions are over," he said hoarsely. Valeth paused. He was not trembling. She had interrogated hundreds of species. Some screamed. Some begged. Some collapsed before a word was spoken. This one merely breathed, steady and controlled, as if he were bracing against a storm rather than awaiting judgment. "You were captured during the annihilation of Outpost K-17, Valeth continued. "Your forces were eradicated. Your fleet destroyed. Humanity's expansion into Dominion space has failed." Aaron exhaled slowly. "Is that what you think?" Her eyes narrowed. "Think," she repeated. "I know." She activated a holo display. Images of burning stations, shattered human ships, drifting debris fields filled the air. "You are alone," she said. "Your species is fractured, divided, technologically inferior. You resist us not through strength, but desperation." Aaron studied the images, then looked back at her. "Is that why you brought me here?" he asked. "To explain why you won?" Valeth felt irritation flicker across her neural crest. "No," she said coldly. "I brought you here to ask a question." She leaned closer, lowering herself until her eyes were level with his. "Why," she said slowly, "does humanity continue to fight when surrender would ensure your survival?" Middle, the questioning. The chamber hummed softly as the question settled between them. Aaron did not answer immediately. He flexed his fingers against the restraints, testing them, not in panic, but habit. Valeth noted it. A soldier's reflex. "You want a short answer," he said at last, "or the honest one?" Her crest flared faintly. "You will give the honest one." Aaron smiled weakly. "That's the problem. You wouldn't understand the short one." Valeth straightened, irritation sharpening into something colder. "You assume much for a captive." "I assume you've already decided what we are," Aaron replied. "Fragile, emotional, reckless." She did not deny it. "You burn resources, sacrifice lives, and cling to lost causes," she said. "The Dominion does not understand this behavior." Aaron's gaze hardened. "That's because you've never had a reason to." Valeth stepped back, folding her arms. "Explain." Aaron inhaled deeply, as if steadying himself. "Outpost K-17 wasn't just a military base," he said. "It was a research hub, refuge center, first contact shelter. Civilians were there. Families. Kids." Valeth's expression did not change. Collateral inefficiency is irrelevant. Aaron's voice sharpened. It wasn't irrelevant to us. Silence followed. Valeth felt something stir, an unfamiliar sensation. Curiosity, perhaps, or annoyance that his words carried weight. You resist inevitable extinction for emotional attachment? She asked. No, Aaron said. We resist because we choose who we are. She tilted her head. Identity does not halt plasma cannons. No, he agreed, but it decides what happens after. Valeth activated another projection, biometric scans of Aaron's body, injuries highlighted in glowing red. You are dying, she said calmly. Internal damage, neural fatigue, pain receptors overloaded. Yet you refuse sedation. Aaron shrugged as much as the restraints allowed. Pain reminds me I'm still me. Her eyes lingered on him longer this time. You are aware this interrogation will end in termination, she said. I figured, he replied. That usually comes after the questions run out. Valeth took a slow breath. There is one final inquiry, she said. Answer truthfully. Aaron nodded once. She stepped closer again, her voice lowering. When the Dominion destroyed your fleet, when you realized there was no escape, what was your final transmission? The chamber fell silent. Aaron closed his eye. For a long moment, Valeth thought he might not answer. Then he spoke. It wasn't a distress call, he said softly. It wasn't a plea for help. Valeth leaned in despite herself. It was coordinates, Aaron continued. And a message. Her crest flickered. To whom? To everyone, he said. And what did it say? She asked. Aaron opened his eye and looked directly at her. It said, We found them. Valeth froze. The translation field rendered the words perfectly, yet something about them felt wrong, unfinished. Found whom? She demanded. Aaron's breathing slowed. His voice dropped, steady and certain. You. The chamber seemed to contract. Valeth felt a sudden, inexplicable chill ripple through her neural network. You claim a dying outpost identified the Dominion? She asked. No, Aaron said. We confirmed you. Her talons dug into her palms. Explain, she ordered, a sharp edge creeping into her tone. Aaron smiled again, but this time there was no weakness in it. Your mistake, he said, was thinking we didn't already know you existed. Valeth's mind raced. The Dominion had ruled this sector for 10,000 cycles. Their stealth technology was unmatched. Their expansion precise, calculated. Humanity had been classified as pre-contact nuisance species barely 2 centuries ago. How? She whispered before she could stop herself. Aaron met her gaze. Because humans don't explore to conquer, he said. We explore to understand. Valeth straightened abruptly. That is a relevant philosophy. No, Aaron said quietly. It's doctrine. He took a slow breath, pain etched across his face. K-17 wasn't studying you to fight you, he continued. It was studying you to figure out why you never retreat. Valeth felt her hearts quicken. We don't retreat, she said. Exactly, Aaron replied. Which means you don't adapt. Silence pressed in again, heavier this time. You see, he went on, when humans realize something won't change, we don't try to break it. Valeth swallowed. What do you do? She asked. Aaron's voice dropped to a whisper. We build around it. Ending the answer. Valeth stepped back, mind racing. Your words are meaningless, she said, though uncertainty had crept into her voice. You're one man, one captive. Aaron nodded slowly. True, he said. But I'm not the message. She stared at him. You said your transmission was not a distress call, she said. Then what was it? Aaron exhaled. A confirmation, he said, that the thing humanity feared most exists. Valeth's eyes widened slightly. "And what is that?" she asked. Aaron's gaze softened, not with fear, but something closer to pity. A civilization that believes it's already finished evolving. The words struck her like a kinetic blow. The chamber's lights flickered. "What did you tell them?" she demanded. Aaron smiled faintly, exhaustion finally overtaking him. "We told Earth," he said, "that the Dominion isn't evil." Valeth blinked. "And yet you still fight us," she said. "Yes," Aaron replied, "because you're dangerous." Her voice trembled. "Why?" "Because you think strength is the end of the story," he said. "For humans, it's just the beginning." Valeth felt the weight of his words settle deep within her neural core. "What happens now?" she asked quietly. Aaron's breathing grew shallow. "Now," he said, "now you decide whether you want to be remembered as the empire that broke humanity." His eye closed briefly, then opened again. "Or the one that made us change." Silence. The restraints deactivated with a soft hum. Valeth did not remember issuing the command. She stepped forward and caught Aaron as his body slumped, lowering him gently to the floor. For the first time in her long service, Commander Valeth Tar did not summon executioners. She looked down at the unconscious human in her arms. And for the first time in 10,000 cycles, the Dominion's high interrogator felt fear, not of an enemy, but of an answer she could no longer unhear. End of story.